What's going on, Bulls Nation? The off-season content continues. On today's episode, we will talk about Lonzo Ball. And I'm here to explain why Lonzo Ball off the bench would be huge for your Chicago Bulls. And then we did get some player movement. Andrew Funk has been waived by the Chicago Bulls, leaving open a two-way contract for the Windy City Bulls and the Chicago Bulls organization. Yeah, I know we're going to talk about it all, talk a little smack, have a little fun, but you gotta hear the music first. Cognac, gang. Shy Boys Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on today's daily episode. Once again, and as always, shout out to you, Bulls Nations, for the continued support. You guys have been killing it. I encourage you all to continue to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well if you're tuned in with me today. But nonetheless, it's time to talk about our Chicago Bulls. One guy in particular, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball is a guy that has not played for the Chicago Bulls in the last two seasons. The one season that he did play for the Chicago Bulls, he played 35 games. And in those 35 games, my man's Lonzo Ball in the Chicago Bulls was 22-13. Hell of a record. Damn, I miss those days. But nonetheless, I'm here to talk about why Lonzo Ball off the bench would be huge for the Chicago Bulls. I understand there could be some people that might have the interpretation that this guy can potentially be a starter again for the Chicago Bulls. I'm here to let you know I don't see it happening. Look, I know I don't make the rules. I know I don't make the decisions when it comes to player lineups and rotations. I just believe as a guy that's working his way back from that type of surgery, who has dealt with the injury history that Lonzo has dealt with, he got to come off the bench in a limited role. Now, if that limited role is 15 minutes per game just to start off, or 20 minutes per game just to start off, I believe that still leaves the Chicago Bulls in a good spot, at least for this season. Now, when we talk about Lonzo Ball's bigger picture when it comes for the rest of his career, I don't know what that holds. You know what I'm saying? Lonzo Ball can for sure come back, you know what I'm saying, work his way back and be a great rotational player off the bench, or he can elevate himself right back to where he was as being a eventual starter in this NBA. It will be a little more tougher since things have changed since Lonzo Ball has gone down. But nonetheless, you never know what's going to happen with some of these players, depending on their play, depending on fit, and depending on what's going on with the team that these guys are with. Now, the Chicago Bulls team specifically, I see Lonzo Ball coming in off the bench. I don't believe that the Chicago Bulls organization, if you go and you look at the trade between Josh Giddey and Alex Caruso, you don't make that move without the knowledge or the determination that Josh Giddey has a strong chance of being your starting point guard, unless you want to bring him off the bench. But it don't necessarily make sense because Lonzo Ball is the one that's dealing with the injury and trying to fight his way back. We found out a few months ago that Lonzo Ball was ramping things up. Then in sooner time, we found out that Lonzo Ball was ready to go. Okay, baby, I know the coffee's ready. Okay. As y'all see, I'm dealing with my child this morning, but it's okay. This is a family podcast. Sometimes it's a little overboard because we use some bad language, but nonetheless, your kids can come have fun and turn up with the Cognac Boys too. We can give them chocolate milk or some apple juice so we can act like they drinking, some good beverages, because, kid beverages. But nonetheless, back onto the topic. With Lonzo Ball ability, I believe this is why it will place the Chicago Bulls in a strong position to have Lonzo Ball be a huge contributor off the bench. When Lonzo Ball was a starter for the Chicago Bulls, my guy averaged 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and I believe he shot well over 35% from the three-point line. It was closer to 40%, I believe. Y'all correct me down there in the comment box. I'm with that. But nonetheless, I think that his ability, when you remove the stats and you talk about what can Lonzo Ball do for the Chicago Bulls, that it helped them and to where he can be a key cog off the bench for the Chicago Bulls. We talk about the passing ability. We don't know if the defense is still there, but we do know the IQ obviously still has to be there. I don't think that's something that you lose overnight, especially with the way that Lonzo Ball has fought his tail off to return back to NBA basketball. You gotta commend him on that. I'm one of those guys that when all this stuff was coming on and Lonzo was coming back and I jumped off the ship pretty early. You know what I'm saying? After you tell me 2 times he's coming back and he's not coming back, I can't believe that he's coming back until he's actually coming back. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm really, really excited for him, and I believe that passing ability will be something that's huge for Josh Giddey, for Lonzo Ball. The IQ will come in there. The ability to run, in transition and help the Chicago Bulls transition offense. Hell, even in their half-court offense with his three-point shooting ability, Lonzo Ball, he should be a key cog when you trying to accumulate points and add up on point totals and everything like that. So he should be a major contributor for however long he's here with the Chicago Bulls. I'm going to keep it real with you all. I don't believe Lonzo Ball is here after this season. That's just my personal opinion. I believe the Chicago Bulls have invested so much time and money into Lonzo Ball, and I believe they supported him the best way they can. But as of right now, if I'm the businessman that I am, I'm not Jerry's Reindork, but the businessman that I am, I'm cutting my losses. You know what I'm saying? I say, hey, you gave us how many other games in 2024, 2025? I don't see us being a good partnership moving forward. But nonetheless, I just look at Lonzo Ball and what he can add to this. Look at some of these lineups that could potentially be out on the court, and you tell me, how can this work? Or what would it look like in your eyes? The first lineup, I'm saying, hey, it doesn't necessarily have to be Lonzo Ball with a bunch of, second, the role players, the bench players, the second string players. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. You can intertwine him and throw a number of combinations with his skill set with a bevy of players. One really, really intriguing lineup for me: Josh Giddey, Lonzo Ball, Kobe White, P. Will, Jalen Smith. All these guys are going to be running up and down the court. You have three-point shooting all up and through the lineup. You have two big guards. One more better on the defensive side than the other. Well, it's still to be determined since Lonzo Ball is working his way back. But now you have a guy in Giddey who can attack the basket at a different level than Lonzo Ball. And then you have Lonzo Ball who can shoot the three-point shot at a different level than Josh Giddey. Then you still add three-point shooting in Kobe White. You still add the three-point shooter from P. Will. And then you still have some decent three-point shooter from Jalen Smith. Now you have the athleticism. Giddey can get out on the run. Kobe White can get out on the run. P. Will can get out on the run. Jalen Smith is young. He can get out on the run. So now this is a team that's going to be running up and down the court, and it's going to be a threat. Off the glass, the defense, they better get back, because Lonzo Ball can hit you with that outlet pass. Josh Giddey has shown he can hit you with that outlet pass. And Kobe White, he can zoom up the court and go ahead and yam it on your head if necessary. Now, another lineup that I found intriguing for Lonzo Ball is Lonzo, Kobe, Ayo, Buzelis, and Jalen Smith. Same type of thing going on there. I think it's really, really intriguing, because now you add in the passing ability of Lonzo Ball, and you add in that with the transition threat that Ayo is, the transition threat that Buzelis is, the guys that these young guys can get some things going. And it's not just all about transition offense, but the point is that these guys are going to be moving up and down the court, and you need guys with certain skill sets that's going to be able to put the ball in the basket. Kobe White allows that. Ayo Dosunmu allows that. Buzelis allows that. Jalen Smith allows that. And one more I wanted to throw at you guys was Lonzo, Ayo, P. Will, Buzelis, and Jalen Smith. To me, that's all your guys that are coming off the bench. To me, well, not all of them, but some of them. You know what I'm saying? And, minus P. Will, who I believe will be the starter. But I still look at that as an opportunity for the Chicago Bulls to have some type of say in how they want to operate their offense. So I think it's still really, really intriguing. I just really, really like, and we could throw a number of combinations in there when it comes to different players, but I'm more focused on what will it look like with Josh Giddey and Lonzo Ball on the floor at the same damn time, in my future voice. It's just passing galore. And guys just got to be ready to spot up and knock them down. You know what I'm saying? So the best lineup I'm looking at is you got Giddey, you got Lonzo, you might throw Kobe in there, you throw P. Will in there, and you might go Vooch and Jalen Smith as that lineup. It doesn't necessarily have to be the starting lineup, but it's a lineup that it could eventually be on the floor, and you can see how impactful this can be. Now, I could be totally wrong on that. But nonetheless, is very, very intriguing. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Josh Giddey and Lonzo Ball on the floor at the same time, and one player makes up for the deficiencies of the other player. We're talking about the driving ability of Giddey, the three-point shooting Alonzo, the defensive ability of Alonzo, and the IQ of a Giddey and the IQ of Alonzo. That's a really good thing that you can work around and try to see if you can make some things happen. It's still real, early before the season started and all that. So I can't wait to see how this thing works out up in training camp and what we hearing out of training camp or preseason and what we seeing out of preseason. But I'm hoping that we get to see Josh Giddey and Lonzo Ball on the same court at the same damn time. At the same damn time, just to see the passing ability that's going to be right there. If you running up the court, Lonzo can hit you and Giddey can hit you. If you in the half court offense, these two guys, they can operate and work with that offense, get some driving ability. And, even though Giddey may not be viewed as a solid three-point shooter, he has improved these last 3 years. And there is a potential for having Josh Giddey be much better than he was last year at 33%. Now he can improve to 35, 36, 37. I'm hoping we can improve 4 percentage points. Let's get you up to 37%, Josh Giddey, and then we going to be good to go. Good to go. So y'all let me know how y'all looking at it about that, because when we talking about that record, that 2020, that 22-13 with them 35 games that Lonzo Ball, man, we was the happiest Bulls fans in the world. Lonzo go down, we say, oh, damn, we curse. But now we're going to get him back for a little bit of time. That time is still to be determined. We not the ones that's going to make the decision on Lonzo Ball, but it's very, very intriguing. It's going to be huge for Lonzo Ball and the Chicago Bulls just because everything that he can add to this Chicago Bulls team offensively and defensively, three-point shot, going in the half court, going in transition, being a guy that's vocal on defense, playing great team defense, and you never know. He's going to open up so many opportunities for the other guys alongside Giddey. I just believe these two guys will be great extensions from the head coach whether they're starting or coming off the bench. That's how I'm looking at it. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling about that line, some of those lineups we threw out. And what do you guys really, really think about the Lonzo Ball and Josh Giddey on the floor at the same time? Do you guys believe this is something that could work? Do you guys believe that this is something that cannot work? Let me know down in the comment. Let's chime in. Let's talk it up. Let's talk Bulls basketball. But before we get up out of here, we got to talk about the Chicago Bulls and the player they just waived. Yes, the Chicago Bulls, after seeing him in Summer League, said enough is enough of Andrew Funk. It was kind of funky. You know what I'm saying? Not the electric slide funky. This was a little funky. We got to take the trash out. Garbage got to get picked up tomorrow funky. I'm not saying this guy's a terrible player. He doesn't have a weight in this NBA, but he got a lot of things we got to work on. Because I was brought to the forefront, you know what I'm saying? Or it was brought to my attention that Andrew Funk was going to come in here. He was going to be a shooter. Woo, you know? My Chicago people, woo. We heard he's a shooter and woo. You feel me? So when we saw him in Summer League, I'm like, bro, you coming off the screen, shoot it. He wasn't shooting. Shoot. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. You come off that screen, you be ready to go. Bow. It's going down. We didn't see much of that from Andrew Funk. I'm going to keep it honest with you. I don't have a clear evaluation of Andrew Funk. I just know from the time that I seen him in Summer League, it was shaky. And it wasn't good. It was quite out funky. It's not to say that his career over. It's not to say that he ain't got no game. It's just to say with the Chicago Bulls, it didn't work out. Now I open up another two-way contract that the Chicago Bulls can fill. We shall see how that's going to play out in the future here. And y'all know we're going to keep y'all updated. But before we go, we say much luck to Andrew Funk. I never want to see somebody without a job or without a way to make some money. I just say it's just not the right fit for him in the Chicago Bulls. Hopefully he can find his way with another organization, NBA, or he has other opportunities in other places, maybe overseas or something. But good luck to Andrew Funk. It just didn't work out with the Chicago Bulls. I ain't going to crap on them. But we just ended off on that. Y'all let me know how you think about that as well. But that is it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in again to another episode of Shot Bulls Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. The next milestone we're trying to hit is that 6,700. We're trying to take this all the way to 10K. We know we have levels to this. We're trying to get to 7K within the next few weeks. So if you're rocking with the content, hit the subscribe button. 7K is the next milestone we want to hit until we hit that ultimate goal of having 10K. Y'all already know. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you want to call in and be a part of one of our mailbag episodes, call in, leave your take, talk Bulls, whatever's on your mind. Any episode that we said something crazy on, the live that we said something crazy on, you want to dispute it, agree with it, or add on to it, call in, leave your take, and get on the episode. Number is 773-242-9219. Thank y'all so much, Bulls Nation. See Red, of course, and you already know. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Cognac. Gang.